Guys, big clear rivers like the one behind me are never easy, but they are exactly the place where something special can happen anytime. I fixed my reel last night and I thought I'll have to give it a go. This very loyal Stradic 3000 I have abused, absolutely abused in the salt for the last 6 years. And apart from rinsing it after almost every session, I didn't really do anything to it. After 6+ years, the line roller bearing decided to completely rust into the baler and do absolutely nothing anymore. So I ordered some parts, I opened the whole reel up, cleaned it, put a new line roller bearing from Gomexus in there, nice titanium one, little upgrade at the same time. We're gonna do a few hours tonight and a few hours tomorrow morning because that is the window that I have for fishing. It is boiling hot. It's already 6:30, almost 7 actually, and we still have 34 degrees or something like that. And I'm just gonna start with a nice medium size twitch bait, shallow running. I'm not gonna go on the top water straight away because I do feel with heat like that, even the asp get pushed down a little bit into the water column and they don't hunt quite on the top. I haven't seen any proper bust-ups as well since I have come here, but there is some swirls happening, so I think they're kind of just below the surface hunting bait fish. But in this area, I can expect anything. Obviously, the asp is the main predator here, but there's big perch in here, there's big pike in here, there is zander in here. I doubt they'll be very active at this time of the day with this light and how clear the river is. And obviously, as per usual, I keep saying it, you're never safe from the mighty catfish. But let's do a few casts, guys, and see what this river is giving us today. Hopefully I didn't repair this reel for a blanket. Guys, I'm looking for the fish in the current seam where there's a little bit more oxygen, hopefully, than in the rest of the river. And they can get away a little bit into deeper water as well from the sun. A nice big asp, big perch, maybe a pike. I am fishing some titanium just in case. Until I properly suss out and explore my new spots here and I know how active the pike are in comparison to asp and perch, etc., I will fish pike safe leaders. To be honest, it looks pretty pikey here. There's quite a lot of water plants as well, so for now, titanium it is. Guys, there's this little micro bait school just tucked in on top of the stones here, and it keeps spooking away from little asp hunting it. I never see the asp though, so they are very well camouflaged, even though they must come right over the stones. Well, I'm just assuming they're asp, but I guess not even safe in the shallows here, not even safe there. Oh, that was a little touch, very subtle touch on the post there. Again, they're very subtle touches. What are they? Maybe the bait is a bit big. Guys, I'm gonna swap over to a little spin tail. I can decide a little bit the water column that I want to fish. Little spin mad, 8 grams. I'll be able to fish that either on the surface or quickly further out in the current for asp, and then drop it into the deep here a little bit for possibly a perch or a pike. Always useful little... Oh, there was a perch. You remember I said those are asps hunting these little fry right into the bank here. I said I was just assuming they're asp. They might be perch, and they were perch. It actually went for it as well. It didn't just follow. I felt a little bump. So they're down there. Let's get perch. Oh! Another perch came up. And that was not 8 centimeters, but maybe even double. Maybe 15, 16 centimeters. We took it right over the stones again as well and didn't get hooked. I've seen a couple of continuous 3, I think, bust ups just here and slightly shallower. I'm gonna see if that asp wants a quick spin tail. Guys, my GoPro's overheating, so unfortunately no live, but I've just changed to a metal, no wire, very fast retrieve inside here, and I had a nice bite just here. And I saw the swirl on the top. That wasn't a small fish. That wasn't a small fish at all. Let's see if it's still hunting around here. Nice little bump that was. And it was maybe 10 meters out or something, and I saw a big swirl and a big bow wave just after. But it's still boiling, guys, but as the sun is dropping a little bit, you can see and feel that the asp are switching on a little bit more. I just had a really nice bite and follow just here, very close in, and another thump just out there. They're so careful and they're so quick, so they just swim next to your lure and bump it. Very intelligent and very quick. Well guys, we are fishing some current breakers, some long current breakers that are in the outside of a big bend here. They are breaking some fairly hefty current. If you saw my last video where I caught my first decent asp here in this river, and you remember that current that was pushing past me there where I caught that big asp, that is actually exactly that bend and that current that gets broken here by these current breakers. And I am actually right now on the first current breaker. That means big asp hunting behind me. That means it gets the biggest push of the initial current coming in. I really like fishing this sort of structures in a river because they give you everything. They give you a really nice current seam along the current breakers. We've got 4 or 5 along here. So along the current breakers, like just off the tip of them, you've got a lovely current seam. On the side that is towards the current, you have a deep hole. So imagine the current just pushing into here, pushing against something, churning up the water, washing out the sand, and then you get a nice deep hole. On the other side, you have just next to the head of these current breakers, on the side away from the current, you have a nice turning water as well, where it churns around the head, and then afterwards, on that side, you have a little bit of shallower water. And you never really know where the fish are in this, but it just creates such a diverse area. So the fish can really be in very deep water if they want to be. They can be in shallow water if they prefer. They can be in sheltered areas if they want to. They can be in basically full current. They can really decide where they are. Usually I look for them, on a day like this, in the deeper part, so more on the side that is facing the current, and that little churny eddy that gets created just off the tip of the breaker, and obviously on the seam. So that is where I would expect the fish now. But generally, something that is always very good is if you look for the current seam or for areas where a current and a more calm area kind of meet. So all those seams, that is really, I hope you can still hear me because there's some waves going on, but that is really where predators, there was a little asp just coming and taking advantage of these waves, completely churning up these little tiny bait fish, and came and smashed a couple. Tiny, it was about that big, the asp. Anyway, so if you're looking for something where you have heavy current and you have no current or less current right next to it, and that seam in between is really interesting to fish because you have an area where most likely bait fish will hold, and you have an area where they possibly get pushed out into a current and they lose a little bit of their control and their easy prey. So that is something that I always look for. It's such a diverse kind of spot and is always really good. But now what I'm going to do, because I've seen some bust ups right in the center of the river, main current, I'm going to get a little metal right in there. Tusha! I am very far from being an asp expert, because I've just a few weeks ago started targeting them as kind of a main species. I only ever caught decent ones as bycatch when I was Zander fishing back in Germany. One thing I've noticed is that the bigger fish are definitely not schooled up and they're quite solitary. So if you're looking at the amount of water that I'm fishing, the speed I'm fishing my lure with and the size of my lure, we do absolutely have to do a few casts, even for a fish to be able to see my lure. And then I think when it sees the lure, they're also quite finicky. They're super quick. I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say they're actually the quickest European freshwater fish. So I think no matter how fast you retrieve, they can just swim next to the lure and properly eye it up and have a quick look at it before they do anything to it. So I'm not trying to be an Asp expert here and give tips, but that is what I'm trying to do. Quick retrieves, small lures most of the time, natural, and also when I am targeting the Asp near the surface in this quick motion, I am not scared that there's going to be any pike picking those lures up, so I do fish completely without any wire because I think they'll just absolutely check what's going on if there's a bit of steel or titanium just stuck in front of their prey. That doesn't make any sense to them. Another thing that is definitely true for Asp is something that I've learned in the salt. Not so much actually in the cold salt for bass, etc., but much more when I was fishing in the Mediterranean or in the warmer Atlantic for bonito, etc., for pelagic species. If you see a bust up and you cast at it, it's very unlikely that you'll catch that fish because these are high-speed fish, and the Asp, for freshwater at least, is also a high-speed fish. So when they smack something there, by the time you've cast it, that fish is most likely 20-30 meters either side. So I think, or in my very limited experience so far, if I've cast at a busting up Asp, I've never caught it, so I've never gotten a bite of it. So I think just blind casting where it's likely that there is some, and then ka-doom. And I do also feel they're not very stationary. I have kind of observed them a little bit with a drone, and they do move a lot, left, right, center. They do 10, 20, 40 meters that way. They go back. So I think at least in a big current like this, they're quite flexible and they're moving a lot. Just to get a little bit of a break from the quick fishing, I'm gonna go into this deep area here. See where the current is coming onto, creating this deeper slack, and I'm gonna see if we can find a little perch in there or something. It is pretty slack, so I'm gonna try to fish 2.7 gram tungsten, which should be fine, with a 3-inch Kagashi worm here, one of my favorite pintails, if not my favorite pintail, but definitely my top 3 without any question. Oh my, guys, what? Did you hear that on the cam? I say that was a catfish. Just underneath the boat there, right next to the plants. Oh my God. Right there underneath the water plants, in the shade, where catfish would hang out. Let's try to get a perch though, shall we? I think we might. I think we might, guys. Oh yeah, lovely drop on the 2.7. Love it. We're gonna get our first perch from this river, guys. Was a little perch interested again? They are in between the stones here, tucking away themselves. Oh, there we go, from the Asp. So they're hunting, and they're at the same time trying to not be hunted, which makes sense with all these aggressive, huge cocaine roach swimming around. Well guys, I need to drink something. Yeah, we had a couple of locals coming onto the structure with a nice little chat. Well, as much as my French allows chats, but I think we understood each other. One of them had a couple of bites on the bottom with a jig, and the other guy was chucking big lures for pike and catfish. I don't think he had any bites. And then they had a little float that I think they were getting some bait fish as well. He had a nice roach, good size actually. I didn't actually see if he took them for bait or not. For me, I had a couple more little nibbles since I've gone over to drop shots. I'm on the FiTU craw at the moment with a 7 gram FiTU finesse stick, and yeah, I'm just fishing those slacks and gullies and churned water here across the tip of the of the current breaker. And yeah, I'll do another 10 minutes or so, and then I'll see you guys in the morning, see if the fish have cooled down a little bit overnight and are nice and active in the morning, smacking bait. Good morning, guys. We're back. Well, we're not quite back exactly. We are a couple of breakers down because I thought, you know what, I really sussed that one out yesterday. So I'll start working my way, down the breakers to see what the depths are, what the structures are, and kind of explore. We're filming a little bit against the light today, guys, so apologies, but the asps seem to be pretty active. There's quite a few bust-ups and swirls, etc. So I've tuned everything on asp. Quite a long fluorocarbon leader, a bit thinner than before, 8 pounds, and a little metal, and I'm just gonna go quick fishing now. Let's go grab an asp, guys. All right, guys. I've scanned it all with the metal, no bites. Next, I'm gonna go a little bit deeper in here, see if there's any perch around, etc. Actually, why don't we go a little finessey like yesterday and do the Kagashi worm. Twitch that around here, see what depth we're working with on this breaker here, see if there's any perches around, or obviously asp will take that as well, small zander. Have a look at this absolute stunner. My first perch from this river, decided to slam it. There's a little school down there. Let's get a 40. Well, let's get a 30 first. That was around 20, maybe more like 19. I'm chuffed though. Oof. Asp thumping behind me. There we go, guys. Better fish near the deck. Well, slightly better fish. It's not big, but what is it? It's a little Zed in the morning sun. There we go. What a stunner. I did not expect that now. I was going for perches. I just swapped over to a little side-rigged Naced split in 3.5 inch, and this absolute stunner slammed it right close to the bottom on the seam here. Nice little morning Zed here. Look at that. Absolute stunner. There we go. Slammed a little. Really slammed it. Naced split, side rigged on a FiTU jig head, on a FiTU 5.3 gram FiTU tungsten jig head. Let's see if there's some slightly bigger ones around. Who doesn't love a nice thump of a Zed though in the morning? There we go. Oh! I mean, I had something on the pull. It was on for a few seconds and then it got off and I had a little asp shooting around here. So it might have been that asp, or it was an asp that was just spooked. Interesting. There's some fish in this little hole, guys. Little touch there. I've tried a little bit around to see if I can find another hole, but it's fairly shallow all around here. This really is the only hole where it looks like the zander are holding. Just had another nice little bite, but that one didn't stick. All right, guys. Explored this structure a little bit. Managed a couple of fish. Really chuffed with that, to be honest. I am going to do the next breaker, see what that one says. And after that, I'm not quite sure if there's another small breaker or something else. Much further I can see an island in the river. Also will be interesting to fish around that if I can reach it with the metals maybe. But I think that's a little bit far for today's session. But yeah, I'm keeping my eyes open and yeah, keep exploring. Yeah, not so much activity from the asp. Every now and then there's a splash here, splash there, but mostly small fish. It's starting to get really hot already again. It is 9:30 now and I am already sweating my tees off. So, but a little bit of a breeze coming on now, so maybe that'll activate the fish as well. Let's go have a look, guys. Let's see what the depth says here, if we can jig and if it's deep. Interesting depth. Let's see what we get here. Maybe a little deeper hole. Could be. And this is something that I find very interesting. See how the water turns here. Oh, there we go. What we got? Oh, it was a perch, and it was a 25 centimeter perch. Let's see if there's some more. Always good to find these spots. Oh. Okay, I know where they are. Good stuff, so. There we go. We found a little perch hole, guys. Love it. Love it. They are, I'm sorry, but they are the prettiest fish in our waters. Guys, that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am pretty chuffed with this little spontaneous outing. Couple hours last night, couple hours this morning. Found a little Z hole, found a couple of perch slacks, all the stuff that you want to find in a new water that you're exploring. So we caught on a bit of a mix today. Most of the stuff was on, well, I say a mix, actually we only caught on soft plastics. We caught on little 3-inch pintails and on little 3.5-inch split tails on tungsten jiggers from FiTU between 2.7 and 5.3 gram. That worked really well in the shallow slacks, but also in the slightly deeper Zander hole. I'm really excited, guys, to explore more and more because I can already see there's some big wooden structure on the other side of this river, which I really want to check out. I'm sure there's some perch in between there, and like there's a massive tree in there. I really expect a big catfish in there. Like, you know, my mind is just going, what's happening there, what's happening there? Oh my God, and there's another asp hunting just here. Guys, this river is full of fish. I just need to end another hunt right in front of me. Decent fish as well. Like I said, lots of fish in here. I need to crack some codes, and I'm pretty sure once it's not so hot anymore, this will get incredibly interesting. Tight lines, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Leave a comment below. What do you want me to do next? And Lure Fishing TV out.